Our world is 75% water, while 25% is dry land. But the surprising thing is that no one has ever seen this 25% of land. According to one estimate, more than half of the land has not been explored to date. This unknown part of the world is actually the Arctic region. Dense, scary forests, dangerous mountains that talk to clouds, and vast deserts, where it is considered extremely difficult for humans to go. However, in any case, we at least know what is actually in these places. But you will be surprised to hear that the largest part of the world is the ocean, about which people know almost nothing. People know only 5% about this ocean. We do not even know how deep the ocean is, what creatures other than fish live in it, and what secrets are hidden at the deepest point of the ocean. The ocean is so deep that we cannot even imagine. According to an estimate by researchers and scientists, if we cut off all the mountains, all the land, and all the buildings on Earth and threw them into the sea, our entire world would be filled with water 3 kilometers deep. To understand this estimate by researchers about the depth of the sea, we start from the surface of the sea. The area from the surface of the sea to 40 meters below is where scuba divers are allowed to go. After this, at a depth of 93 meters, the wreck of the famous British ship Lusitania was found, which sank in 1950. A little further ahead, at a depth of 100 meters, there is a very dangerous point for divers. At this point, if deep-sea divers are not careful, various parts of their bodies stop working due to the pressure of the water. But despite all this, Australian freediver Herbert Nish set a world record by diving to a depth of 214 meters. And Herbert did this record in one breath. Going further down from here, we have the world record for scuba diving at a depth of 332 meters. And this world record was held by Ahmed Kabar from Egypt. If Ahmed had gone another 114 meters, the depth would have been 443 meters. And this depth is exactly the same as the Empire State Building in New York. A little below this, at a depth of 500 meters, the largest animal on Earth, the blue whale, can dive. The blue whale weighs 150,000 kilograms, and after diving into the ocean, the blue whale can go to a depth of 500 meters.
The American Seawolf submarine, which is an advanced nuclear submarine, cannot go deeper than 500 meters. From here, the real effect of water pressure begins. At a depth of 535 meters, the water pressure on a person is as if a fat, fresh buffalo were standing on top of it. But emperor penguins have the ability to withstand this pressure, and that is why they can dive to a depth of 535 meters. Going further down, at a depth of 830 meters, the top of the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, would be there if it were thrown upside down into the sea. After that, at a depth of 1,000 meters, that part of the sea begins, which is called the scary zone. From here, sunlight no longer reaches. There is only darkness all around. At this point, the water pressure becomes 1,500 pounds per square inch, which means it is exactly the same pressure as an African buffalo standing on a coin. Surprisingly, this scary zone is also home to the giant squid, a terrifying creature of the deep sea. Going down, at a depth of 1,280 meters, you can find the leatherback sea turtle, which is the largest of all turtles in the world and can weigh up to 700 kilograms. At a depth of 2,000 meters, you can find the black dragonfish, which is completely black
and can only be seen with a flashlight, but its eyes are so sharp that it can see easily in the dark. Going a little lower, you can find the sperm whale and the terrifying colossal squid at a depth of 2,250 meters. This colossal squid is 14 meters long, weighs 750 kilograms, and has one eye as big as a dinner plate. Its web has sharp teeth with which it can grab onto its prey. The colossal squid and the sperm whale are enemies of each other, and the colossal squid can easily catch and kill a sperm whale, which weighs as much as 2 road rollers. The scars that can be seen on the body of this dead sperm whale are the result of the web of this squid. This depth of the ocean is just the beginning. At a depth of 3,800 meters, the wreck of the famous Titanic ship is still there. Going down 200 meters, at a depth of 4,000 meters, the part of the ocean begins which is known as the Abyssal zone. Here, the water pressure is amazingly 11,000 pounds per square inch, which means it is exactly the same pressure as a heavy elephant standing on a coin. Strange creatures are found here, such as the fangtooth, anglerfish, and viperfish. At a depth of 4,781 meters, the wreck of a World War II warship is found. Going even lower, at a depth of 6,000 meters, another part of the ocean begins, which is called the Hades zone. This name comes from ancient Greek beliefs, where Hades was the god of death. It was believed that after death, he would take bad people to the depths of the ocean, where there is a hellish environment. In this zone, the water pressure is about 1,100 times higher than at sea level. That is, the pressure here is so high that even a normal bulletproof car can be crushed in an instant. Going even lower of 6,500 meters, the US Navy research submarine called DSV Alvin can go to a depth. This submarine was the one that found the Titanic. At a depth of 8,848 meters, if Mount Everest were placed upside down in the ocean, its peak would reach here. Then, at a depth of 10,898 meters, James Cameron reached it with his submarine in 2010. However, in 1960, Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard set a record for going even deeper in the submarine called Trieste. They reached a depth of 10,960 meters. The submarine took a full 5 hours to reach there, but the water pressure there was so high that a crack appeared in one part of the submarine, so they had to quickly return to the surface. Going even lower, the depth was 10,972 meters, which is about the same as the flight altitude of a commercial airliner. This part of the ocean is as deep as the feeling of height when looking down from the window of an airplane. Finally, humans have so far been able to go to a depth of about 11,000 meters, which is more than the altitude of a commercial airliner. The person who reached this depth was former naval officer Victor Vescovo. He achieved this feat alone in a deep-sea submersible called Limiting Factor. This place in the ocean is called Challenger Deep and is located about 300 kilometers from the island of Guam. According to researchers, even after going this deep, it may not be the deepest place in the ocean. It is the only place that humans have been able to reach so far. So far, humans have been able to explore only 5% of the ocean. That is, what kind of creatures live in the remaining 95%? What secrets are hidden? are still unknown.
I hope you all will like and share this video of Mysteries World. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you again in the next great video.